Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to Stop the Blur. This is the middle of September. Should be September 15 when this posts. We are crossing our fingers. But if you don't know already, I call the 15th of every month Stop the Blur Day. And what Stop the Blur Day means is it means that over at the Heidi Swapp Shop, the brand new Stop the Blur kit has become available, along with, as well, let's not forget, Stamp Society. Here's a look at Stamp Society. It's an absolutely beautiful set. We're told it has about 46 stamps included with it, but we're not talking about this today. This is what we're talking about today. So what today's video is about is this is the time of the month that I like to come in here and share with you what has transpired in my memory planner over the past year. Now, memory planning, if you're not familiar with that, is also, I will leave a description in the description box at the risk of sounding redundant, but it's not planning in the future. It is memory keeping. It's a great way to have a week at a glance and to keep all those memories right in one place. So what I do is I come in here and I share with you what has taken place in my memory planner on these pages. And as I go along, I'm also going to share with you as it comes up the different products that have found their home. Now, I should finish that sentence, that have found their home on these pages. Now, for the most part, when I am doing a month, I am using that month's Stop the Blur kit, which is, there's partial August Stop the Blur kit in here. And so you can see I've actually kind of blown through this one pretty good. I have a couple more things left, but I'm also not quite done with August, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I also have this great washi tape. So if you're in Stop the Blur subscription kit, you would have got this in August. And now September has a brand new kit out. And this is a sneak and a peek at what this looks like. And I have started using this a little bit as well, and I will share this with you towards the end of this video. So for now, let's get into this August 1 through 7 page. I'm using a lot of last month's Stamp Society stamp set that you're going to see in here, like this yellow journal spot here. These alphas are from the kit. This August is the outline destination alpha. More letters, alphas from the kit. This is from the printable. Now this was, you've seen, if you follow it all, you've seen Heidi utilize this tag that has all these different slots. So I'm using mine for journal as well as for photo. And you've, and then back here, large ledger tag fits in the very back. And there's just a great way to really mount up a lot of photos if you wish, or journaling, or vice versa, or all the above. More of Stamp Society here as well. And this is the washi from August kit, and this is part of the printable that Heidi makes available free. It's a free download in her Stop the Blur class. Here is that fun little exploding kind of spiral journal spot, if you will. I thought that was kind of fun. And then a couple things I wanted to point out here. You're going to see a little theme here with some tags I had pre-made. They are not fancy at all. They're pretty straightforward, actually. But I have quite a few of them this month taking up some real estate on my pages. And I'm kind of happy for that. I liked having them there. Quotes that I have found that I have either made myself, but if I found them somewhere on the internet, then and especially if they're pertinent to like where I am right now, I like to include them on my pages. I forgot to show you, I made this little Heidi place here with a photo and one of the remember tags. And so I've got journaling on the back and it just pops right into there. Okay, what I should have done, I'm going to tell you something I should have done. What I should have done with this tag is made it interactive so I could lift it up, but I adhered it right to the page. So there's nothing else going on. And it was just kind of a layered tag, and it worked for this page. So that's a look at August 1 through 7. All right, now we go right into August 8th to the 14th, second week of August. And you can see the colorway on here was highly influenced by this green from the kit. And I kind of stayed with that by way of, I was looking here for my, what's it called? It is called Speckled Egg. Speckled Egg, I thought, really matched the alpha really well. So I've got a lot of speckled egg going on here. So what you're kind of seeing is just probably really not too different from page to page. The thing that's really different is the colors and, of course, the photos. And I get asked pretty often, what size photos do I use? And I really try to stay with the same photo size. I blew that up this month, and you're going to see, because here I have this little collage, and the whole entire collage is not taller than 2 inches, but I have 4 photos that sit within that little space. You know, then I have this small size photo here that's part of this tag. That's probably, yeah, that's a 2x2 right there. I even tucked in one of the printables from this month. The tag that belongs to this, and then but then there's this photo here that is more like a 2 by just about 2.5. So I don't know what photo size I'm using. It's the photo size that works for the most part. Something that August was a really busy month, and I had like this really busy season, and it sort of just recently wrapped up. But what I found, and I think a lot of us can relate to this, and I think it's okay, because like there's no rules for the memory planner pages, right? No one says, well, you have to have this many pictures and you have to have this much journaling. And oh, by the way, make sure you get washi on the page. I mean, there's like no rules for that at all. It's just a wonderful space to be creative if you want, to be completely straightforward if you want, to have fun if you want, or if you don't want. You know, maybe you don't want to have fun. I don't know. But there's a page, there's going to be lots of these little days here where I have no photos. There's been very little family events in the last month. It's just been a lot of work, and that's okay. Sometimes we have seasons of work, and you know what? I'm going to add this while I'm sitting on this page too. That is something that has become a little more apparent to me, keeping a memory planner like this. And what am I talking about? It's sort of this checks and balance for me to kind of see what my life is actually looking like. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it's important that we're playing every day, or I'm not speaking into that at all. That's totally personal. Everyone has to figure that out for themselves. Here's what I did notice though. I worked a whole lot this last month. A lot took place. And sometimes we don't always know why our own little heart is a little empty. And that's because we are pouring out so much into other people, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I believe that the more we pour into people, the better and happier we actually are. That being said, you keep pouring out from a pitcher, eventually it's empty. And so what am I trying to say? I should really start a podcast is what I'm trying to say, because I've really thought about this as I was working on this page. As this became a very therapeutic activity exercise for me as I was working on these pages, that gracious, James, you really put in a lot of things this month, and you're going to need to maybe take a look at your schedule and maybe do some adjustment. And, you know, going day to day, and even if you do keep a journal, if you keep a diary, or however you keep that, you might be writing that down, but you might not be going back and looking at it again. And I think here with the memory planner, that's part of the power of the memory planner. I don't think there's too many of us who participate in this creative activity. I don't think there's too many of us who are doing this day by day. I think I think what basically happens, and tell me if I'm wrong, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments on this, but I think for the most part, we're grabbing a whole week at a time and we're adding it to our week. And so that's an absolute wonderful way to examine your life. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's get back to the creativity. Thank you. Okay, so no photos on this day. There'll be more days like this, but I had a quote that I had taken a screenshot of. I had some notes that I wanted to have in here. That was actually really, really good. When I went, again, my point, when I went back and I read those notes, I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to remember that. This is an old kit piece several months back. I don't even know which month it belongs to. So then we're back over here, and I'm back to 2x2 photos. And then, okay, this is my ode to Rodney B. Norman, who is my most favoritist online personality ever in the whole wide world. And his "have a nice day with all your failures and stuff," like totally just found me right where I was living right here, because I was fighting some failures, people, big time. You know, personal failures. No one was telling me I was failing. I just was telling myself. So anyway, I love him. He's on Instagram. It's just Rodney B. Norman. You need a dose of him every day, because just for the smile factor. Just for the smile factor. I had a trio of photos here that I printed all at one time. Oh, and this happens every once in a while. I fail to get my journaling on my little journaling spot. But I kind of like this little thing here. I liked how it overlapped these other photos. Anyway, it's just kind of fun for me. I stamped the clipboard from the Stamp Society again, and my journaling found its way there. And this too shall pass. That was an ode to the horribleness that was my allergies at that time. It was so bad. So I made a tag, this too shall pass. And sure enough, I am not where I was whenever this took place. Let's see, the 14th. And this is the 14th today as I'm recording this. We've come a long way. And I knew we would. Boy, Colorado, August, allergies are just terrible. Okay, August 15th through 21. I put a quote out every Monday. I'm supposed to do Sunday. Right now I'm doing Good to Get Out on Monday, and I really like this one. Everything in life is writable about if you have the outgoing guts to do it and the imagination to improvise. The worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. I just love that quote so much. And again, it really spoke to a place that I was at right now with learning to going to this next step of telling stories a little bit better. There's just this little metamorphosis that's going on in my life right now with that, and with journaling, and what that looks like and what I want it to look like. And so I love that quote. I have two photos here, and then I made a little pocket and I slid in this tag. This is one of the tags from Stamp Therapy. I just trimmed it down and I stamped Dream. The Dream is the alpha that is not even in its holder. I've been using it so much. This is Market Fresh 6x8 size alpha. I have been using this a lot. I love this. You can see it here, Begin Again. And I finally found a home for one of these clipboards from the Adventure Collection. And I used one of the Adventure Collection tags for it, and I trimmed it down because it was a little too big. But again, this had no photos on this Tuesday. I had no photos on this Wednesday. And that was fine, because this Begin Again was a really big message for me. So I made that really the emphasis of my days. And so I know exactly what that means now when I look at that. My youngest birthday, so some journaling about him, some family photos from that evening. And then I made a little booklet in here because we're getting ready to start SBC Fest here at ScrapbookCom. And it's just been a really big deal. So I wanted to do like this little photo book of it. And good things come to those who work really hard. And I just love that reminder that was from the printable from this last month. And it's just a really good inspiration just to keep working at whatever it is you're working at the time. And so journaling, photos from birthday weekend as Birthday Fest continued, and the baby was down. So I knew I didn't get my journaling on here yet, but I kind of did the same thing here as I did over here, where I put adhesive on the photo itself and then popped the little journal spot. This is the tag from those tag pockets, and for some reason I have a pink one left over, so I'm like, that's going to fit there perfectly. And then again, another tag, Soul Care, and what that looks like, and that's just was a really great reminder for me. So that's, I think, the end of my tags, because basically that's the end of August. You can see here I have the date up for August 22 through 28. I have my little post-it note. I always go in and post-it note all my weeks so I don't get too confused as to where my weeks are living in my book, but I don't have this done yet, and that's okay. That's okay. All right, but I am going to jump into September. Stop the Blur kit just released, and I utilized it here as I started off September, and it's a very, very beautiful kit. I showed it to you a moment ago. I do want to kind of point out these yellow alphas, they actually come up not quite so yellow. I have New Cafe written right there. And I used the monthly stamp as well as September captions for this label to signify that September was starting. This is great. Let me see if I can grab one real quick. There's these great envelopes and little cards that are part of September's kit. Love them. I actually took off the flap to this one, and I have this glued down a little bit. It's like a glue dot that does not want to give up. Give it up for love. Okay, so that glue dot was a little aggressive, and I actually pulled up my paper on that, but I'm gonna have to be okay with that. But I had a picture in there, and I just wanted this to live on the outside, and I'll figure out a way to fix that. Kind of unfortunate, but we move on. The puffy letters are from September kit, and I had like 3 things here that I wanted to point out, so that was just kind of a great way to kind of bullet point a thing, and those numbers are just kind of cutie. This is an old sleeve. It's not really old. I just got this done, so I don't have a lot. I don't have all of my journaling done yet, but this will be Friday's journaling on here. But this sleeve, they're in the shop. And then I use the Stamp Society from September, All Good Things, and the flower. There's a piece of the washi. I use the Market Fresh Alpha for the think, which led into my quote here. Think of all the beauty still left around you and be happy, Anne Frank. Isn't that just an amazing quote, especially with the origin being Anne Frank? Anyway, journaling, and then Labor Day, and I use the alphas to signify Labor Day, and picture of flowers and journaling. And I also kind of came in here a little bit, I'm not sure how well you can see it, with some of the stamps from the brand new Stamp Society. And that's a look at mostly August in my memory planner. And I will get this week finished, eager to do that. I had a lot of fun working in here. I just love all the products that are in the Heidi Swapp Shop that come in play nicely on these pages as well. It doesn't have to just be from the kit. And I was saying in the live the other night too, there's so much to these kits that I still have some things that I can use in September. I keep my kits all in a basket. I go through and I look for all the colors and I pull them and I use them. They're just the kits that keep on giving. I love that. So if you have any questions about anything memory planner, any questions about what I said tonight, any questions about what I said in today's video, I'd love for you to drop them in the comments here. And if you like this video, I'd love a thumbs up. And if you're brand new, I'd love for you to be a subscriber here to this channel and be part of our community. It's a wonderful community. And with all that said, I will see you in the next video.